Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I am Simply Money here with Simply Money Budgets. And on this channel, we focus on finances, faith, and freedom, doing it the divergent way. And we have a special guest in the building who wanted to stop by and say hi. Say hi. Everybody, this is my little mini me. This is the Nugget, aka Forever. That's her name. And as you can see, we are twinsies on our nails. I actually got this at the Dollar General. It was $1.25, and they actually happened to match. So we're little twinsies. And so she wanted to be involved in my YouTube channel, and I told her that she could. So everybody say hi. Drop down in the comments. Say hi forever. All right. So as you guys can see, we did some new things around here. It is no longer tax that. We are now Simply Money Budgets, which I feel like that encompasses me as a person and my intention for this channel a bit more than tax that did. So if any of that, like I said, finances, faith, and freedom, if any of those things interest you, then stick around as we get into these budgets and something special that I have planned for you guys. All right, you guys. So, with some of the new revamps that are going on around here, I also have some other fun things that I want to let you guys know about. So, we have two main goals for this channel, and that is we want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we also want to get to 4,000 watch hours so that we can get this channel monetized so that I can bring bigger and better things to you guys, and we can expand our community. And I can also do things like giveaways. Now, who doesn't like free stuff, right? So I have two giveaways that I already have planned. The first one is going to be for when we reach 500 subscribers, and that is going to be a $25 Amazon gift card. It's going to go to one lucky winner when we reach 500 subscribers. Now, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a budget box giveaway, and that is going to have all the wonderful things that you need to begin your budgeting journey. You will have one of these budget binders in there. You're also going to get a 100 envelope savings challenge. You're going to get a calculator like this, and you're going to get some other fun things that I think you would need to go ahead and start your budgeting journey and have just a really good head start and some cute aesthetic things that will make it a little bit fun for you. So those are some wonderful things that we're going to have more giveaways going on in the future, things that's going to get you guys involved. This is a community that we're building over here. It's not just me talking to you. It's us all being involved and engaged with each other. So those are just a couple of things that we're going to do on this channel. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into the next part of this video. I don't know what that was, but maybe there'll be a little transition there. So if you guys haven't noticed, we have made some changes to the channel in the sense of the name of the channel, and then we just added some things to incorporate in the channel that personally I feel like fit me better and what we're trying to do here a lot better. So the name of the channel is now Simply Money Budgets. The name tax that, although it was cool, it was catchy, it didn't invoke what I wanted it to invoke. And so I decided to go with Simply Money, which is the name that I've had on social media since high school. And I decided to go with Simply Money Budgets. I just felt like that was much better. It is me. It's the name I've had as long as I can remember. My nickname is Monty. My first name is Monica. And so my family call me Monty. It's been like that since I was a child. And I just felt like it was a better representation of me. So it's Simply Money is I guess the name of the whole thing. But for this particular channel, it's Simply Money Budgets. So that is the new name is Simply Money Budgets. Maybe I'll put the new little logo right here for Simply Money Budgets. And then if not, I just did that whole little hand thing for no reason. But I'll put the logo right there for Simply Money Budgets. And this channel is going to be about finances, faith, and freedom. Because those are the three things that I value the most is finances. faith. I am a child of God, and my faith is super, 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 super duper important to me. And then I value freedom. I'm doing all of this for freedom, for financial freedom, emotional freedom, relational freedom, just freedom. I really value freedom. And I want not only for myself to be free, but I want all of you to be free as well. So, those are some little housekeeping updates there as you can kind of see the differences. So I have my binder here. I have like I said, we would talk about this, the 100 envelope savings challenge. And then we have our budget, which we're going to get into in a minute. Now, I did want to say all that to say that there was something that happened in my life that I felt it was, after processing it for about a week, I felt it was super important for me to come up here and just share what that was in the process that I went through to go ahead and process the event. The reason why I thought it was super important for me to do this is because any and everything that emotionally happens in your life, or especially if it's a very big event, whether it can be traumatizing or just overwhelming, in ways that you may not even know, it affects your finances. I truly believe that your finances are an external reflection of your internal world. And the reason why I believe this is because there's a verse in Matthew 6, verse 21. Let me grab it really quick. And I know you can't see it on the screen, but I just want to bring it here for you. It says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Now, this is in the New Testament, and the New Testament was written in Greek. But my understanding as I study the Bible is that the heart is the seat of your mind, will, and emotions, right? It's not like your actual physical heart. So, the reason why I say that your finances are an external reflection of your internal world is because it does say in the Bible that where your treasure is, there's your heart also. So, when I began to apply this to my own life and I would go look at my bank account, I would see that the things I spent money on were the things that meant something to me, right? Or they were a priority in my life. Even though I'm saying I prioritize savings, I'm going to eat out, right? Or even though I say I prioritize needing to get a new vehicle, I'm spending money on hobbies. So sometimes if you actually just sit still or look at the information on your bank account, it will show you where your priorities are. And it was very important for me to process this event with my biological father because I do have goals, and I did not want any wounds or unmet needs or anything in my heart, my mind, will, and emotions to upset those goals because I have not processed it properly. So that's why I just thought it was really important to come up here and show you guys the way that I process events like this happening in my life, because I know that it can show up in my finances, in the way I spend my money, and the way I prioritize my goals if I don't properly um, grieve this situation or process these feelings that I have. So we'll go ahead and get into that. And we are here with a clean table. And so I will put the timestamp here somewhere. If you're not interested in this next part and you want to get just straight to the budgeting, straight to the money, I will put the timestamp here to let you know when that starts. Alrighty. So if you're still here, that means you're interested in this part. I think I have mentioned it before, and if not, it'll probably be in my upcoming Tea Time Tuesday, that I am a certified integrated attachment. I'm sorry, a certified integrated attachment theory coach. Now, I cannot market it that way because I'm still technically paying off my certification. So until that gets paid off, I can't actually do business under that yet, but that does not take away from the fact that I am certified. So with that being said, I took a long time to figure out how to process my emotions and how to process a lot of the traumatizing events that happened in my life. And I felt this was one of the perfect opportunities for me to come up here and share one of my, well, not one of them, but share a way that I process things. So when I found out that my father passed away, my first reaction to it was nothing. It was literally like I really didn't have much of a reaction. To me, I likened it to like finding out like my neighbor or someone that I don't know passed away. And it took about a good 24 hours before any sort of emotions showed up. Now, at first I called this numbness, but then once I kind of got a few days into it, I realized I was like, no, this is not necessarily numbness. Just sometimes it takes a minute for you to fully like grasp the information that you just received. So it took about 24 hours before my first emotions showed up. And these were, oh, and so you guys, I'm going to be using flashcards. I love flashcards. And I really like flashcards. So my primary emotions that showed up were anger, sadness, and then relief. Now, I know myself well enough to know that anger, unless it's an injustice that I'm seeing, for me, anger is what I call a protective emotion. It's a secondary emotion for me. I'm not naturally an angry person. But when anger shows up, especially in response to events that are not justice related, I know that it's there to cover up my vulnerability, and it's there to actually alert me to a sadness or a deeply unmet need that's been chronically unmet. So much so that it's turned from sadness into almost bitterness, and then from that comes anger. So my first emotion that showed up was anger, and then my next emotion was sadness, and then relief. So my anger showed me actually what my core wounds were. And core wounds are like deep seated negative beliefs that you have about life, and your core wounds can develop through conditioning, through trauma, and chronically unmet needs. And so my core wounds, let me grab them here. Okay, so my core wounds were: I am rejected, I am disconnected, I am unworthy, I am unloved, I am unheard, I am unseen, I am misunderstood, I am unimportant, and I am not enough. So these were the core wounds that once anger showed up, and then sadness, and I let myself feel those feelings and those emotions. When I did my processing, I was able to realize that these were the core wounds that showed up out of anger, which is great because then that let me know like what I'm working with when it came to my belief system. Now, the deep sadness showed me what my unmet needs are. And my unmet needs, let's go ahead and do away with these. My unmet, my primary ones, I had quite a few, but these are the primary ones that I had. And those were feeling fully seen and understood, validation, and financial safety and security. So, by my father being both emotionally and physically absent, these were the three unmet needs that I was able to find, and that I was able to acknowledge that was chronically unmet, that was leading to the anger from the deep sadness. And so I realized that these are the three things that I will need to begin showing up for in my life in a very deep way. And this is going to be the focus of my internal healing until I feel it's been integrated well into my life now. And especially now that, we're going over finances, like financial safety and security, which safety and security is a big, need for me. But financially speaking, it's been, usually attributed to the father being the one that makes sure that the home is taken care of, as far as like providing a home, providing food, providing shelter, providing stability, all those things, right? And so no matter what the times have changed into, because we now know moms and dads do that, but still it is primarily a fatherly thing. And for me, these were the needs that, because my father wasn't present in my life, were chronically unmet, and that I also wasn't showing up effectively in my life now. to meet for myself. Now, the need that I had the deepest response to was validation. That's something that because I kind of took mental inventory of just different things that were coming up in my life, or different things that I'd been kind of hearing over the last couple of months, or even some emotions that I had been feeling. And I noticed that they were kind of all circled around validation. So when I was going through this, and when I was allowing myself to go through these needs and like see how they felt in my body and where they sat in my body, I found that validation was the one that I had the most visceral response to. And so that was the one that I decided to do a little bit more work around. Now, for me, I didn't have a really deep understanding of what validation truly is. And so I found that validation is the act of recognizing, affirming, and accepting someone's thoughts, feelings, experiences, or existence as legitimate and worthy of acknowledgement. So we'll go ahead and take this one away. And so that this way you guys can see it. So there we go, as legitimate and worthy of acknowledgement. Now, if we're looking at this, we can see where the I am unworthy wound is kind of showing up. And so when I don't validate myself, this is essentially what I'm telling myself, is that I'm not recognizing or affirming or accepting my own thoughts, feelings, experiences, or existence, just my existence, as legitimate and worthy of acknowledgement. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean rationally agreeing with myself, but it does involve conveying that my emotions and perspectives are understandable, important, and make sense in the context of my experience. Now, here is what validation can look like. So we have emotional validation, which is acknowledging feelings and avoiding dismissal. Now, with acknowledging feelings, that can be recognizing that what I'm feeling is real and meaningful, even if it's not logical or aligned with either someone else's perspective or even my own rational perspective, right? And then avoiding dismissal is, instead of immediately rationalizing my feelings away, I will create space to process my emotions. So for me, because I am a thinker, it's very easy for me to feel a feeling, and then I actually won't, it won't even register with my conscious mind that I felt the feeling. What registers first is I'll do this thing, I'll like tilt my head to the left, and I will say, well, that's not really, or well, that's this, or well. And I realized during this process that that's how I invalidate myself on micro levels. By when a feeling comes up, I immediately rationalize it away. I am a thinker. I love being a thinker. I love my big, beautiful brain that the Lord blessed me with. But sometimes thinking is not necessarily your best friend. And so we also have the validation of experience, meaning I need to affirm my own reality. And by doing that, that's acknowledging my lived experience and that my perception is valid, even if it differs from other people's, or even if it differs from, like I said, my own rational mind's perception of, the event that happened. Now, an example of how I can do this is it's like, so this is like a little phrase that I can say to myself, right? It's like, I understand why that was so hard for you. You've been through a lot. Now, I'm guilty of comparing my experiences to other people. And when I do that, I'm essentially like, well, that wasn't so bad because this happened to so and so, or that wasn't so bad because at least I'm not this. And that is invalidating myself. It doesn't matter what was so bad for this person or that person, or comparing it against anything. It is just validating my reality in the moment as I perceive it. Right now, this also, which I'll mention probably later, protects me from gaslighting myself. Now, why is self validation important? Well, self validation is important for emotional safety, it encourages growth, and it prevents shame. So, validation helps me see and understand the value of myself. And this creates a trusting and emotionally safe relationship within myself. So I'm looking for emotional safety, which my father would have provided this to me as a child, but clearly he did not because he was absent. So this is how I can begin giving this to myself. This also encourages growth because when you self-validate, you are more likely to take actionable steps towards growth and or healing. And that can look like, going and getting a coach or going to therapy or doing things that are self-love or affirming myself. There's many different ways that taking actionable steps towards my own growth or healing could look like. And then this also can help prevent shame. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with shame spiraling outside of having ADHD. I struggle with it because of a lot of traumas that I experienced and just a lot of the chronic unmet needs I had, given the fact that I was raised by a single mom in a broken home and they had their own wounds and things that they were carrying. But what self validation does is it reduces the shame that I may feel about having these emotions in the first place. I know that some of us have had these thoughts of why did I even feel like that to begin with? Why did, it's almost like you shame your own feelings. Like, why did you even feel that way? And then you make yourself wrong for the feelings that you had in response to something external. I know I'm not the only one who does that. I know that's probably quite a few of us out here. And that's another way that we invalidate ourselves. And so, this also, like I said, it prevents you from gaslighting yourself, which we all know. Not I'm not going to assume we all know, but I know I've heard the term gaslighting a lot in the past few years, so I am assuming that a lot of you have as well. But if you haven't, gaslighting is basically where you are made to feel that your reality isn't, that what you're perceiving isn't real. And so we also do this to ourselves by invalidation. And this is another reason why self validation is very, very important. And when you can recognize it in yourself, it also makes it easier for you to recognize it when other people are doing it to you. A little tip there from a person who was in a relationship where gaslighting was very present a lot. And so now I came up with two new beliefs that I want to be able to integrate into my life. And the first one is I am worthy just as I am. And the second one is I am enough. These are the two beliefs that I'm going to be working on and fully integrating into my beingness. And I put that in quotations because we are human beings, not human doings, even though we learn from doing, right? And so but these are two things that I want to integrate into my beingness is I am worthy just as I am and I am enough. So this is where faith for me is incredibly important because it's been instrumental in a lot of my growth and my healing that I've done over the years. And so for me, I go to faith first. Whenever I'm dealing with something, whenever there's a new belief that I need to integrate, I'm like, well, what did God say? Because for me, logically, it makes sense. Like when something's broken or something doesn't work right, you don't take it back to the store you bought it from, or really you're not supposed to. You take it back to the manufacturer, the one who made it. Like if my GMC is broken, you really should go to GMC. If my vacuum is broken, you really should go to the manufacturer of that vacuum to figure out why it's not working and how do you fix it. I feel it's the same way with us as human beings. If there's an issue with how you're being, if there's an issue with your feelings or anything like that, you go back to who created you. And for me, my creator is God. God the Father, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. So I'm like, all right, well, let me go back to see what my creator said about me. And when I did go back, actually, not even when I went back, when I was processing a lot of this, I kept having this one verse just pop up in my head. It was actually two words from the verse, but it was Psalms 139, verse 14. And it says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It was this part, the fearfully and wonderfully, that just kept being on repeat in my head. Now, just a little bit of background. I've been in church. I mean, I've been in faith ever since I can remember. Like, there's no time in my life that I don't remember not knowing about Jesus, God, or anything like that. Church is a different story, but my faith, I've always had it, and I just don't remember. That's one of the beautiful things that my biological mother did for me was she raised me knowing the Word of God and things like that. So this verse was deeply embedded in me, but it's not like it's something I think about all the time, but this just kept coming up on repeat. And so I am a little bit of a geek. So I geeked out on this a bit and I decided let's go ahead and break this apart and put it back together and see how we can allow this to integrate a new belief into my life. So now what I like, so this is a little bit of a geeky part. So I don't really know how to make it entertaining, but if you're a geek like me and you kind of geek out over weird stuff, then you might like this part. So I like to go back to the original language. This is one thing I learned about effectively studying the word of God is I like to go back to the original language that it was written in and then break it down and see what the original writers meant when they originally wrote it. So the word fearfully and wonderfully in Hebrew, this is what it looks like. And this is actually going to be my new tattoo, which I think I'm going to get like somewhere around here. But this is fearfully, the word fearfully and wonderfully in Hebrew, in the original language. So we're just going to go through this really quick because I don't want to take up too much more time. So we're going to go through each one of these and we're going to break apart the symbols really quick. Like I said, we're just going to run through this really quick so that it doesn't take up because we've been going quite a while, a little longer than I intended. Well, actually, I don't even know if I had an expectation, but so this first letter right here for fearfully, and I'm gonna try my best to pronounce these. I might mispronounce them. You could please feel free to correct me in the comments. So it's nun, which is a seed or sprout representing life, growth, or faithfulness, and also new beginnings. And so the meaning that I found was the awe of God's work begins with life and growth, symbolizing the start of something sacred and significant. This next letter is Vav, which is a nail or hook representing connection or binding. And its meaning is God's awe inspiring creation connects the physical to the divine, tying heaven and earth together. Now, this next symbol right here is a Resh, which is a head representing leadership, authority, or beginning, meaning God's awe inspiring acts demonstrate his authority and mastery as creator. Now, this next one is an Aleph, which is an ox head representing strength, power, and the divine. The meaning of that is all comes from recognizing God's unparalleled strength and divinity in creation. Now, the next one, here we go, is a Vav again, which is repeated. And in this instance, it means connection. And so the meaning is that it reinforces the connection between the creator and his creation. And then the last symbol, which is a tav, which is that one right there, is a mark or sign representing a covenant or completion. So the meaning of this one is the awe inspiring nature of creation points to God's covenant and purpose for humanity. So for me, what I found is that the term fearfully suggests creation as a sacred act that brings life, connects us to the divine, demonstrates God's authority, reveals his strength, and fulfills his covenant. I mean, come on now. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And then so for the next word, we have wonderfully, and that starts with another nun that we see right here. And so the meaning of this one is a miraculous work begins with the divine planting of life set apart for a purpose. Then we have a peh, which is a mouth representing speech, expression, or creation. That's the peh. And then this meaning is the act of being wonderfully made is tied to God's spoken word as he spoke creation into existence. The next symbol, which is this one right here, is Lamed, a shepherd's staff representing guidance, teaching, or authority. And its meaning is God's miraculous works are guided by his wisdom and authority, lovingly shaping each creation. And then we have an Aleph again, which is right here. And this is the extraordinary nature of creation reflects the divine power and uniqueness of God. And then we have another Tav, which is this one right here, this symbol right here. And then in this instance, its meaning is God's miraculous works carry the mark of his covenant and are brought to completion with purpose. And then the last symbol is a yod, which is this little symbol right here, which is a hand representing action, work, or divine involvement, meaning the miraculous nature of creation shows God's personal involvement in forming life. So, what I found is that wonderfully highlights creation as a miraculous, set apart act spoken into existence by God, guided with care, rooted in divine power, completed with purpose, and shaped by God's hand. Now, that's just beautiful. And I don't fully believe it yet. So, this is what we're going to be working through. And this is why I love going back to faith, because when you ask the creator, like what he meant when he created you, you always get more than you bargained for. Like that is just beautiful. And when I say, and I don't yet believe it, that's just because of the experience that I had with my natural father being absent in my life. So although logically I believe it, rationally I believe it, in my heart, this is the work that I'm going to be doing to integrate this into my beingness, right? And so combined, these symbols emphasize that, let me go ahead and take this away really quick, that life is created with sacred intention, connecting the divine and physical worlds. Creation reflects God's authority, wisdom, and covenant with humanity. And God is personally, this is the one that I'm really going to be working through, but that God is personally involved in shaping each person uniquely with miraculous care and purpose. Now, the practical ways that I can integrate this into my healing journey is one, by meditating on these words. And those words are that God planted my life like a seed with purpose. I am deeply connected to Him and His plan. God is in authority over my life, and I don't have to earn His love. This one is kind of difficult for me. I know love is like you have to earn it, and it's not just there simply because you exist, especially from men. And His strength and divinity shaped me uniquely, and I am marked with His covenant, made whole and complete in Him. And for my writers out there, because I also do enjoy journaling, these are two journaling prompts that I'm going to use to help further my healing. And the first one is, what does it mean for me to be fearfully and wonderfully made today? I'm gonna have this up on my wall so that all the ones that I just showed you, the ones that like the I am marked, those ones, I'm gonna put that on my wall so that I can meditate on those words. But I'm also gonna have this around like so that I can have little wins that I can practically show myself of, well, what does it mean to be fearfully and wonderfully made today? And I can go back to those moments and reprogram my subconscious belief of what it is to be valued, what it is to be worthy, by having those memories in there and by repetitiously going over them so that they just get programmed into my subconscious, which is the your subconscious and your unconscious self are really responsible for your beingness. And so this will really help me find those little moments in the day that I can see externally that this is, me being fearfully and wonderfully made. And then how does this truth challenge my thoughts and beliefs about my worth? I feel like it's always important to challenge the belief systems that you have if you ever want to grow and evolve. Like I'm trying to grow and evolve into someone who is financially secure. And that's not who and what I was before. So I have to challenge a lot of the truths and a lot of the beliefs that I have around my worth, because if my finances are a reflection of my worth and the way I handle my finances are a reflection of my worth, then when I look at it, it doesn't exactly look the best or feel the best. So what that means is that it's time for me to take control of my future. Although I may have wanted my father to meet these needs for me and to do these things for me, he didn't. And I'm not angry with him. And I'm not bitter. I'm not any of that, because I went through another level of healing way before all of this, but I understood he didn't have the tools to give to me, because if he did, he would have gave them to me, but he didn't have them. And so this is meant for me to be able to process and move forward so that I can take hold of my future and secure my financial future in partnership with the Lord and whomever He brings in my life to partner with in the physical realm as well. So this is basically my process for how I'm going to integrate these things into my healing and how it's going to strengthen me on this financial journey. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into this budget. Okay. So the first thing I want to get into is that I am new to savings. Period. I'm new to savings. And so this is the one that I decided to do, the 100 envelope savings challenge, because I do want to purchase a home for me and my daughter. And I felt like this would be the best best way for me to make it fun and get to my goal of $10,000. And so that just means I'd have to do this twice, because if you fill up this whole binder, it's $5,050. And I like the fact that there was no time limit on it. So because I'm new to savings, I really want to increase my dopamine, and then I want to increase my self-efficacy, basically meaning like my belief in my ability to get things done by the small wins of what's in here. So like I said, I like the fact that there was not a time limit on it, like a 52-week challenge or a monthly challenge. They even have like the dollar challenges, $5. I mean, there's so many different challenges, but this was the one that I felt was best, that went towards my goal. And I could give myself the best chance of completing it. So I know that this probably will take me a while to do, but I just thought it was great. We've already started a bit. We have two of them in here. We have the dollar slot filled, and we have the $25 slot filled. So this is cashless. So I have, as you can see, my dollars in there, and then my $25 is in here. And so that money is just transferred into my savings account. And I keep the prop money in here so that it looks like real money to me. Now, there is one that I saw on, I'm going to show you guys this right here. I did see this. This is from That Budget Life. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that. So this is like a savings game that she has. And I thought it was so much fun. It was highly impulsive, but it was only like $3. Please go support her if you guys like this. I think I'm going to make my own version of it. But I absolutely loved this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that. But basically what this is that it makes the it's like a little game. And so you roll the dice, and then this is the top row right here. That's the first dice. And then this is the second die that's first die, second die. And then so the first one decides which, what is this, column that you get, and then this decides the row. And then whichever one you land on, that's how much you have to save. So the way that she did it was basically you roll one, and then that one tells you how many times you have to roll. So I would have to roll 4 times. So with having to roll 4 times, let's move this out of the way. With having to roll 4 times, I would do the first one. That is column 6, and then I go down to row 2. So that would be $1. Actually, let's write this down. Let's find something to write with. Actually, we'll keep it on the calculator. That would be $1. Let's roll again. 4, column 4, and then 4. That would be $1 plus $5. And we're doing what? 4 rolls? 4, and then 3 plus another dollar. And then the last one would be 6, and then 6. So, and that would be another dollar. So I would save $8, right? I loved that as a way to like gamify, even with doing the 100 envelope challenge. If I'm like, I don't know which one I want to do, it was so much fun, and it was so cute. These, I got little wooden blocks from Dollar General, and then I just created the little die part on it. It was like 50 little blocks. I have the rest of them in my drawer, and I'll figure out what I want to use them for. But I did put a start date here. Just wrote on a little piece of tape. Started this 1/7/25, and then once I complete it, I will write that there, and then we will start over. So that is what we have for the 100 envelope challenge. Now I'm all about saving money. Right now, I don't have a lot of extra funds to buy all the aesthetic, like budgeting things, but I still didn't think that that meant that I could not participate. So I did add a few extra, categories here. And so I've noticed that with the household, because I kind of had everything lumped together, that was not really working. When I say lumped together, I mean like if I wanted to get something for myself, if it was like a random thing from the store, or if it was like a household thing, it all came out of my household budget, and that just was not okay. So I decided to switch to split up my household into like, this is the stuff that actually goes into the house. And then this is a TP fund. I got that term from, what's his name? Caleb Hammer. There we go. And this is just for the random stuff, like the random things, like if I need to go buy Tylenol or whatever. I needed to have somewhere that could come out of. So I split that up into household and then TP fund. Now, this is the toll troll because as you all know, we are working towards paying off these freaking tolls. And so I did turn that into like a little game. This is just literally like a little index card. And these are some stickers that I had, and I called it the Toll Troll. And how much I need to pay is $298.90. And then these are, so at first I was just going to put it all into one thing and then pay it all at once, right? But I decided I didn't really like that. I do like being able to see myself pay it off as I go. So I decided to kind of turn it into like a little, I guess, challenge. And I put all the individual prices of the different toll invoices that I have to pay. And I've already paid one, as you can see, and I will mark them off as I go. That's all that this is. And this is for the toll troll. And this right here, the money that's in here is the money that, because I had $33 in there, but this one was only $24.34. So there was $8 left over. So that $8 is represented here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then that lets me know how much I have. And again, this is sitting in a different account that I just transfer the money into, as my Cash App that I just transfer the money into because that's the card that I'm paying it off of. So that's there for tolls. This is here for auto. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of money to have all like the aesthetic little trackers. So I just made mine out of a index card. This is how much I want to have in this, just because I do have a used car. She's my baby. Her name is Prue. And I just want to make sure that I have money set aside, just in case she needs anything. And I felt like $500 is really good. This could cover a tune-up, oil change if I need new tires, just your normal things. And then, of course, if I want to continue to build on this, this could potentially cover the cost of maybe a bigger um, issue. And I'm still trying to figure out if I want to get like that monthly insurance that you pay into monthly, like say your transmission or your engine or something huge goes out, it pays for it. But I'm not sure yet. But again, this is the date, how much, and then the balance of what's in here until it gets fully funded. And then once it gets fully funded, I'm going to move it over into my savings. And then this one is a treat yourself. I realized that I needed a envelope for just treating me. I don't really pay myself at first. Well, I do the ADHD tax, but I don't pay me for doing the work of everything. And I realized that it's really important that I treat myself, right? So like there's this perfume that I've wanted and it costs $100 and I've wanted it for over a year and I have not gone to buy it. And so that's why I decided to create this, because it's really important that I have somewhere for me. And so the amount is going to be $200, the date, the money, and then the balance. Again, you don't have to have money to get things started. And these I just wrote on, I used a dry erase marker, because you can use a dry erase marker on this and it'll come off. And then I just put tape over it. So then when I want to change it, it is a little bit of work to kind of take the tape off. But when I want to change it, just take the tape off, wipe it off, and then you're good to go. And I just wrote that. It's a little, like I said, I wanted to have it done. So, and I didn't want to spend extra money. And then this is for my baby. This is for the Nugget and all the things that she needs, like school supplies. I am transferring her to online school once she finishes second grade. So usually, or if she needs like new wardrobe, new shoes, anything like that, $250 is more than enough for anything that she would need that pops up. I thank the Lord she is a healthy kid. So we're not having to deal with a lot of, medical expenses or anything like that. And then we just have our normal gas, food, and household. So as you can see, household and food is empty and gas still has $2. So from our last budget, we have $2 left over from our last paycheck, and we are going to go ahead and budget out this paycheck. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into this budget for this pay period. This is the second paycheck of January. No, this is a magic month, so we will be budgeting 3 paychecks this month. So this second one is going to be for the week of, all right, so this is going to be for the 16th through the 22nd. Now, a good thing about being caught up in that Capital One debacle is for a couple of days, I didn't have a paycheck, so I couldn't spend any money. So the bills that are going to be due during this pay period is going to be, we're going to take out rent because I do rent on the split bill method. So I take rent out every paycheck. And then I've actually been able to start doing that now because January is a magic month. Before this month, I was using a service called Flex that would pay your rent for you. And then you would pay that service back just to get me on track. Because when I did break up with my ex, that paycheck left the home. And it was during a paid time when essentially, if I didn't have that system or that access to that application for my apartments, I would have been behind paying my rent. So when I had the Flex, I used that. I would make the first payment to the Flex would pay the rent, and then I would make the second payment. So I never actually paid rent late, and it kept me on track with my rent. But now that we've hit January and I've hit a magic month, I am able to stop using Flex because it was like a $15 a month subscription to do it. But I've been able to stop using that, and now I can just go ahead and pay my rent on time directly from my account. So that doesn't have a due date necessarily because it's paid every paycheck. And then the budget is, my rent is what, 1150. So it's going to be 575. So it's going to be rent, Affirm. This one, I only have a couple payments left. This was for my daughter's bed. And technically this one is late because again, the Capital One didn't deposit my money. So I was not able to, I could have paid it, but I wasn't willing to take the money out of the accounts, like my savings and whatnot that I already had it in. And I don't ever plan on really using Affirm ever again. So just as long as it gets paid by the due date, it is what it is. And so this was $36.67. And then we have Spectrum for our internet. And you guys, I'm getting ready to switch to T-Mobile because it is much cheaper. And that one is due on the 20th, and that is 101.98. I am so sick and tired of my internet being this darn expensive. And then I have my Apple Music, which I live and die by. I will literally, I don't know. I have to have my music. I don't know if any of you were like that, but I have to have my playlist. My playlists are as old as my daughter. And, and I think that's like $12 is with tax. It's like $12. Okay. Those are our regular bills. And then of course we have food, gas, household, and then depending on what we have left over, we will divvy it up and see where it's going to go. Now, for this paycheck, it is going to be 1,200, was it 60? Yes, it was $1,260 for this paycheck. And we are going to go ahead, and we don't have a lot of bills on this one. This is why I love the second half of the month for me. The first half of the month is a little bill heavy, but the second half of the month is absolutely wonderful. So we have 1260. Hold on. Is it 1260 or 1206? Hold on, let me check that really quick. Okay, so I checked it and it was 1260. So we are going to go ahead and subtract our bills from this. So 1260 minus 575 minus 3667 minus 101.98 minus 12. That leaves us with 534. Okay, actually, sorry. Let me do this. 575 plus 36. Ah. Y'all, this is erratic. Sorry. 575 plus 36. 67 plus 101. 98 plus 12. I just need to fill this out right here. 725, 65. And then really I should make this a lot easier by just taking this and this. So it's going to be 1260. So then it'll be the 1260 minus 725.65, which is going to leave us with 534.35. Okay, so we're left with 534.35. Now I'm going to take out something really quick for giving. So 5280 has to come out of here. So 5280 has to come out for my giving. So we're going to take that from the 534. 534 minus the 5280 equals, okay, so we have 481.55 to divvy up between the rest of the things that we need to pay. So with that being said, I think it's the perfect time to introduce this guy. Remember when I said I was like, I didn't have a bunch of money, but I still wanted to be able to, participate in a lot of the things that I saw here in the community. And so I needed like a little cash holder to hold my money. I didn't want to keep like having just a whole big old thing of money. So I actually went and made this let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see better. So this I made from the dollar store. And so actually what it is let me go ahead and take this out for you guys so that you can see it. But I made this for $3 from the dollar store. Now I already had the hot glue gun at home. I do a lot of crafts. So I found this little thing at the dollar store for $1.25. And then I found these popsicle sticks for $1.25. And I literally just hot glued them. I put two sticks together to kind of just give it a little bit more width and sturdiness. And then I just hot glued them in here and made all these little slots. And it fits the money perfectly. It's a little snug, but for what I need, it fits in here absolutely perfectly. And I paid $2.50 for this entire thing. This was $2.50, you guys. And then, like I said, it was a hot glue gun, but you can use super glue. You can use whatever you got at home. I obviously wouldn't advise you use like Elmer's glue or anything like that. It's not gonna hold. But you could get like a little thing of super glue there. They had it for like $1. And like I said, the fit is it's like literally a perfect fit. It's super snug, but it fits all of my monies in here. And these are the same length as real like dollar bills. So it will fit your real money. And that was $2.50. So I feel like that's a great way to save money and still have the things that you like. So with that being said, we have $481.55 that we need to figure out what to do with. So I'm actually going to go off camera for a second because I need to think. And if I think on camera, it's going to be a long time. So we already know food, gas, and household has to come out, but I need to figure out a couple of other places that I'm going to decide to put things. So I will be right back. All right, you guys. So we are back. I have decided I've decided where the money was going to go. And so we have for food, we have 150 for gas. So this is what I'm going to do about tolls, okay? Because me and this toll troll, we going to get it together. So I've been trying this whole, all right, so I'm going to like not take toll roads and yeah. So for the sake of my sanity and my road rage, for some things, I do need to take toll roads. And because I have time blindness really bad, so I've made the decision that I'm going to take tolls if taking a non toll road puts me 15 minutes out of my way of the destination, like greater than 15 minutes. So, because my time blindness is terrible. So, when I say that, I mean, I've literally been awake since 3 a.m. and was like, we're going to leave, start getting ready and leave for church by 9:15. Mind you, I've been awake since 3 a.m. and we're going to leave for church by 9:15. And I'm still late or getting there like right on time. It's like I need a crisis in order to do anything. So what I've decided to do is that I don't, for most of the places that I go on a regular basis, because I've been doing this since the first, and it is now the 18th. So I have a pretty good idea of what my weekly or bi-weekly travel looks like. And so for the places that I go, I found a way to get there without having to pay tolls. But for like the in-between stuff, and it's like it's just like an hour plus to go there the non-toll way, I decided that I will let myself take a toll. So I've decided to split my gas because I rarely use the full 120 a month. That's 2 tanks of gas for me. I rarely use the full 120. So I've decided to bring my gas down to 50 and then put $10 on my toll account so that should be able to take care of and keep that account funded. I should not use more than $10 in tolls per biweekly pay period. So, and if I am, we gonna have to revisit this and take a look and see what's going on. So we have the food is 150, gas is 50, household. I put 25 in the household just because I did have 50 for the last paycheck. And I split household and TP funds. So it was the TP funds were supposed to be $100 for the entire month, which was wrapped up into the household. But I decided to split these two. And so because last paycheck, everything was in household, I really didn't buy too many things for the actual household. And when I say household, I mean things like toilet paper, paper towels, dish soap, laundry detergent, those kinds of things is what's considered household. The TP fund is for like those one offs. Like I wanted to go get a pack of pens, something like that. Or I might have needed to get my antacids or something like that. It's not a usual thing. So that goes into the TP fund. If I wanted to go get like a new nail polish color or whatever, that goes into the TP fund. If I want to buy a book, that goes into the TP fund. Where I had all of that together, I decided to split them apart. So I put $50 for TP fund, and then I put $25 just because I do need toilet tissue and I do need paper towel, and I get those things from Sam's in bulk. So that'll cover the cost of those two things. And then for the rest of the month, I don't need anything else in the household because I do buy everything in bulk, even though it's just me and a 7-year-old, but it works out better that way. And it's less trips for me to have to make. And the way my ADHD is set up, if I can make less work, that works best for me. So my giving is $52.80. My tolls is $10. TP fund is $50. And then my lights, because I decided to see how I like moving my lights down here into variable instead of having it up here as a bill, just because I pay. Okay, so you guys, I know that just got cut like abruptly. I actually finished this entire thing and did not know that my mic cut out. So we are going to have to go back over it, but I guess it'll be a little bit quicker because it's all done. So where I left off talking about lights. So basically, I've just decided to put my lights down here so that I can see if I can have leftover funds that can go into other places since we now are doing the savings challenges and have other financial goals. I did decide to go ahead and put money towards the toll troll, which that's a priority for me. That's something that I want to get done ASAP. So the one that I decided to do was the $55 one. I went ahead and did that one. And then the remaining balance that we have left is $219. Is $219.44. That's what we have left here to pay the toll troll so they can leave me the heck alone. So we have a total of $419.92 in the variable location, which means we have $114.43 left over. I did decide to go ahead and put some money in our 100 envelope savings challenge, just because this is also a priority to me as well, because I want to get in the habit of doing it. I decided to put $14 in here. Now, y'all, I did not know that they had the binders that you don't have to fold the money. I wish I would have known that because I would have bought that one because it literally hurts my heart. Even though I know this is fake money, but it hurts my heart every time I have to fold money. I love crisp bills. And so we are going to now go ahead and color in the $14 one. I was trying to keep these color coordinated, but I don't really know if it's going to work out that way. But we're going to color in the $14 one. And there we go. So I want to try to like put money toward this like once a week or once every pay period. Once or twice every pay period, just because it's kind of fun. And I don't know, I love marking these off, and I love filling the little thingies. And when I look in here, I know that I'm doing something really good. When I tell y'all savings is not my thing, savings is we're trying to get there and make it fun and make it great to be able to save and secure for our future. So if we minus the $14, we are left with $100. I am going to leave this here because my ADHD is telling me that I may have missed something. And sometimes that happens. I've checked and double checked and triple checked all of my backup for my backups for my backups of the things that I have to pay. And I don't think I am. So if this is still here by next Thursday, then we will probably either feed it to the toll troll, or we will play the little play this game and figure out. So I want to figure out something to play this game for. Maybe for like my sinking funds. That's what I'll do. That's what we'll do. Since we already put money toward our 100 envelope savings challenge, then if this money is still here, it should be. But if this money is still here next week, we're going to go ahead and play this game and put money towards the other envelopes that we have that I want to get filled. It's these, the ones that I want to start going ahead and getting filled, which is going to be auto, treat yourself, and then the one for nuggets. So we'll figure out what money to put in there for those. So that is what we're going to do. And you guys, that is it for this paycheck. I know it was a little crazy and it was a little much. I think you guys have probably been up here for a total hour. If you're still here, I love you. You must find something about this interesting. And I appreciate you being here as we start out this journey. Do not forget to, like, subscribe, share. You guys, we are going to get a little more active in the we are going to get a little more active in the community. I'm just getting all that together because again, it's me running the whole show right now. So I don't want to overwhelm myself in the beginning by trying to do everything at once. So we're going to get our Instagram up and going. We're going to get our community tab a lot more active. You guys will have shorts coming from me in the future. Make sure that you check out our Tea Time Tuesday. I believe this should be uploaded before Tea Time Tuesday, but just in case it's not, I want you guys to go ahead and check that out. Now, sorry, I kicked the light. Now, we might be moving Tea Time Tuesday to Mondays in February, but I'm still praying about that. But I have a feeling that Tea Time Tuesday might be getting moved to Mondays. But for now, it'll still be Tea Time Tuesday. And so, with that being said, I think, oh, this is the budget from last week. I went ahead and already closed that out. And so we stayed within our budget. We actually had $2 left over, so we did pretty well. And then this is our second one from this week. I don't think there was anything else in here. Like I said, I tripled, quadruple checked everything. I think I'm going to start putting money towards Sam's Club because that one is due in April. So we may do that with the $100, with this $100 next week as well. Start putting money towards our Sam's Club. But I did start start filling out my sinking funds. The ones that are highlighted are the priority ones. The ones that are not highlighted, those are the ones that I'm going to work on secondary. Now, for me, I can only really, right now, I can really only focus on 6 months at a time without feeling overwhelmed. So, although Christmas is up here, back to school, my daughter's birthday, those are in the second half of the year. And my brain just cannot make sense of it right now. And again, we are just beginning. I'm not saying that this won't change in the future, but as we're getting used to doing sinking funds and savings challenges and things like that, I felt like it was best to focus on 6 months at a time when it came to prioritizing which sinking funds I wanted to put money in. We're also going to have the 1 month ahead. I'm going to focus on that separately. I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to do this. If this the money that I have going into my savings right now is going to go into 1 month ahead or what. Because although I do want to purchase a house with this is just for my general savings at the moment. So whatever money I save, I may decide to go ahead and take that and put it in my 1 month ahead and then just subtract that out of what I'm doing in there. Not 100% certain. This is for the toll troll. Oh yeah, we can go ahead and fill this one out. So we did what? We did the 55. So we can go ahead and fill this out right here. We did 55, and then what's today? The 18th? And then, oh, I got new markers, so I guess we can use those. Where are my markers? I got these from Dollar General as well. I got these little markers here. And we'll go ahead and make this pink. So we'll go ahead and color that in. All right. And then so this one is going to be on the next paycheck. We'll go ahead and get into that one. And then I don't think we haven't reached 10% quite yet, but I'll get that. We're just running through this. Oh, you guys, I am keeping track of my expenses. I'll explain probably in next week's video what I'm doing with this, but this is my expense tracker. I have the little legend right there. And then that is it. So we're going to go ahead and close out this video. It's been super long. But I feel like it was a lot of great information in this. So if you guys can put in the comments anything that you want to see from me in the future. Again, this is birthday month, so if this month is your birthday, put that in the comments. I would love to know that. And we have that those giveaways coming up. Let's get this video to 1,000 subscribers. Not this video, let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. We need that so I can give better things, y'all. I love giving stuff away. Like I'm going to have a fund specifically so I can give a bunch of stuff away. That will be money in the form of gift cards, if it's a Visa gift card or whatever, budget boxes, so that you guys can go ahead and get started. Amazon gift card. I just love giving things away. I really do. And so in order to give away, I need money to come in. So let's go ahead and get this monetized. Let's get these watch hours up. Look, y'all, let's get these videos watched. Let's get, this community growing so that we can go ahead and share the love and spread the wealth. Okay, so we can share the love and spread the wealth, you guys. So I think that's enough for today. You guys have really been troopers and sticking with, is that dirty? Oh no, okay. You guys have really been troopers in sticking with me. I know this video, like I said, had a lot in it. And so I thank you guys so much again. And I think that is it. So for our first episode, although up here I'm known as Simply Monnie, my name is actually Monica Janae. You can call me MJ for short. But again, thank you so much for stopping by Simply Monnie Budgets. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.